So, this is the story of FC United of Manchester, and it's a pretty wild one. This is a football club that wasn't born in some fancy boardroom, but right out on the streets. It's a tale of protest, yeah, but also of incredible passion. And it really shows what can happen when fans decide, you know what, we're taking our power back. For millions of us, a football club is, well, it's so much more than just a business, right? It's your identity, it's your family. So what happens when that family feels betrayed? Well, in Manchester, back in 2005, they didn't just get mad. Oh no, they got organized. And boom, this is what they created, FC United of Manchester. And just take a look at that badge. See how it's based on the Manchester coat of arms? That was no accident. It was a totally deliberate choice, a way to root their new club deep in the city's heritage. They were literally reclaiming an identity they felt was being stripped away. So yeah, this thing, it's not just a logo. It's a massive statement of intent. Okay, so to really get how FC United came to be, we have to rewind the clock. We need to go back to the exact moment their old club, the world-famous Manchester United, was changed forever. And here it is. This was the breaking point, May 2005. The American Glazer family takes control of Manchester United in a really controversial leveraged buyout. For thousands upon thousands of lifelong supporters, this was it, the ultimate betrayal. It felt like the final nail in the coffin, the absolute final step in turning their club into a business, prioritizing profit over the passion of the people who loved it. So let's just lay this out side by side, because it's a huge contrast. On one hand, you've got this corporate structure owned by a single kind of distant family. And on the other, a completely radical new vision, a club owned and controlled by the fans themselves, a place where every single member gets one vote. This was a direct, in-your-face challenge to the entire direction modern football was heading. But here's the really important part. This protest wasn't just about what they were against. It was about what they were for. They didn't just throw their hands up and walk away. No way. They decided to build something brand new, right from the ground up. And get this, they moved fast. I mean, unbelievably fast. The takeover was confirmed in May. By July, just a couple of months later, they had a name, a constitution, an elected board, and they were already playing their first match. This wasn't some slow burn project. It was just an absolute explosion of collective action, all driven by this super clear sense of purpose. And the response from people, it was immediate and just overwhelming. In just a few weeks, you had over 4,000 people pledging more than £100,000 to get this new club off the ground. That number, it just goes to show you how deep that feeling of discontent really was, and just how powerful the desire for real fan-run alternative had become. And the word here is democracy. It was at the very heart of absolutely everything they did. And I'm not talking about some empty marketing slogan. This was the real deal. From the club's name, to its badge, to its core principles, every major decision was put to a vote. The members, the actual fans, were in complete control right from day one. So the club is established, the principles are set, but now comes the big question, right? Could they actually win? Could they compete on the pitch? Their journey up the English football pyramid was just about to begin. And I need you to understand just how far down they were starting. The 10th tier of English football. To put that in perspective, that is the absolute bottom of the ladder. It's a million miles away from the glitz and glamour of the Premier League. We're talking local parks, small crowds, players who are out there purely for the love of the game. It was about as humble a beginning as you can get. But they did not stay there for long. In what can only be described as a stunning run, the club got promoted in their very first season. Then they did it again in their second. And then, you guessed it, again in their third. That's 3 consecutive promotions. This wasn't just some protest movement anymore. This was a seriously successful football club. And the fans? The fans followed them in absolutely staggering numbers. Think about this. For a 10th-tier league match, they drew a crowd of over 6,000 people. 6,000. They completely shattered the league's attendance record. And that's a record that, by the way, still stands today. It just proves that the same passion that built the club was the very thing fueling its success on the pitch. But as incredible as that on-field success was, the story of FC United of Manchester has always been about something bigger than just the final score. It's about the principle of the whole thing. And this quote from the club's own constitution, it just captures the essence of it all perfectly. It says the club is, quote, democratically run by its members who have equal voting rights and own one share each in the club. It sounds simple, right? But it is a truly revolutionary idea in modern sport. It's designed specifically to make sure that no single person can ever swoop in and take control. The power will always belong to the group. And that, right there, is the definition of a fan-owned club. It's a model where the supporters, they have the final say. They're the ultimate authority. It's a crucial difference. They aren't just customers buying a ticket, they are the owners. And today, FC United is one of the biggest and most well-known fan-owned clubs in the entire UK. And then, 10 years after they first started, they did what many thought was impossible. They opened Broadhurst Park, their very own stadium, funded and built by the fans themselves. It's this incredible, permanent, physical symbol of everything they accomplished. It's a home that can never, ever be taken away from them. So all of this leaves us with one last big question. The story of FC United, it started out as a protest, right? But it ended up becoming a blueprint, a model for others. It proved that supporters can build a sustainable, successful club completely on their own terms. So what do you think? Is this just a really cool, romantic story of rebellion? Or could this be the actual future of community sport?